Welcome back class 8 students. I am your English grammar digital mentor and I am back again with a new chapter which is chapter number 31, speech writing. So let's start with part A, which is the definition of speech writing. Oral communication is the oldest and most widely used medium of communication. It can take place in different forms and speech is one of them. Speech is generally the most effective medium of delivering the message in a meeting, seminars, conferences, etc. Speech refers to delivering a message through words of mouth or spoken words in front of the audience gathered in a meeting, seminar or conference. Through speech, the speaker can present his opinions and thoughts on any matter to a large number of audience at a time. Now, what does a good speech have? A good speech has 10 qualities that can effectively deliver a message through the word of mouth or spoken words in front of an audience gathered in a meeting, seminar or conference. Speech is an effective means of oral communication. It is delivered in front of large gathering. Therefore, speech serves as an important medium for presenting information in meetings, political or business gatherings. However, a speech becomes effective when it fulfills the following features. The first feature is clarity. Clarity is an essential feature of a good speech. A speech should be clear and unambiguous so that the audience can understand it easily. If it is not clear enough to express its meaning to the audience, it will become ineffective. The next one is definiteness of message. The message of a speech should be definite and relevant to the subject matter. Third point is conciseness. The audience become impatient with a long speech. Hence, the speech should be as concise as possible. However, it should not be incomplete. The fourth point is interesting. A speech should be delivered in an interesting and pleasing way so that the audience is motivated to pay attention. In order to make the speech interesting, various stories, examples, quotations and jokes can be cited. Fifth point is informal touch. Though speech is a formal address, it should be presented in personal and informal way. Next point is considering the audience. Speech is delivered to a specific audience, so the speaker should actively consider the expectations, interests and nature of the audience. Now next point is speaking slowly. An ideal speech is one that is delivered slowly and in the usual tone. It helps the audience to hear and understand the message clearly. Next point is free from emotions. Another important feature of a good speech is that it should be delivered in unbiased and unemotional way. Speaker's emotion may drive him away from the main theme. Next point is use of body language. Good speech goes with necessary body language. Therefore, at the time of delivering a speech, the speaker should use various non-verbal cues. Next point is ensuring participation of audience. A good speech is one that ensures the participation of the audience with the speaker. That means the audience will ensure their attention through effective listening, expressing their solidarity with the speech and so on. If your speech fails to hit the check boxes of these qualities, then it will lose its edge. Despite a few limitations of a speech, if done well enough, you can make the audience move the earth for you. Now in part C, we can see the common phrases which we can use while writing a speech. The first one is I fail to understand. Second is I submit that. Third is may I ask all present. Next is I strongly oppose. Next is on the contrary. I would like to raise or the question or argue in my opinion. Next is nothing could be more illogical than, or we can use I feel very strongly that, or I would like to draw attention to. Now let's come to the format of speech writing. Here an example is given. You are the secretary of the youth club of your school. Your city was hit by a cyclone. You want the students, teachers, NGOs and the government to arrange all possible help in terms of money, materials such as clothes, food, medicines and also shelter for the victims. Here, write a speech in about 200 words to be delivered at a public function on behalf of your school. So as you can see, the format of speech is given here. We start our speech with salutation, that is good evening, or we can say honorable chief guest, respected principal, guest, teacher, friends, etc. Then after that we start with introduction, opening statement issue. Today then we write our name. For example, that my name is Anjali, so I'll write today I Anjali, secretary of the youth club of, then I write my school's name, appeal to you to help us in our efforts to organize aid for the victims of the cyclone that lashed our state and resulted in the tremendous loss of life, property and agricultural land. Then we can write the further details. For example, each one of us has to come to the aid of the victims of this calamity. Millions of rupees are required to reconstruct the damaged hut and broken roads, to clear the sand-filled streams and canals, and to feed those who have lost their heart and home. Then we can also suggest some future actions or some other suggestions, like we need to initiate awareness drives so that the next time there is a natural calamity, people are not caught unaware. Etiquette warnings must be given so that people can take steps to save themselves. Then the last para should be the summing up paragraph. For example, here it is written, I request you all to donate generously for the noble cause. Now let's see one more example, which is about girl education. A very warm welcome to all the teachers and students present in the auditorium. I am here to deliver a speech on girls' education. Education is very necessary for every child, whether boy or girl. It helps a person study new things with skills and learn about the facts of the world. Education plays an important role in the protection of women's rights. It also helps to prevent discrimination based on gender. Education increases productivity in their work. An educated woman has skills, information, talent and self-confidence to make her a better mother, employee and resident of the country. Women constitute almost half of our population. Men and women are like two aspects of a coin. Thus, they need equal opportunities to contribute to the development of the country. Both cannot survive without each other. It is depressing that some communities still differentiate against the education of girl child. Education is the key factor of girls' empowerment, prosperity, development and welfare. There is continuous inequality and liability of girls in all sectors: economic, education, social, political, healthcare, nutrition, legal rights, etc. The importance of girls' education was first highlighted by Raja Ram Mohan Roy and Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar during the British rule in India. He paid attention to the education of women. Some leaders of the scheduled caste community like Jyotiba Phule and Baba Saheb Ambedkar had made many initiatives to provide education to the women of India. At the same time, as a result, the female literacy rate increased since 1947. Many factors are responsible for the poor education of women in the society, like poverty, distance, insecurity, negative behavior, child marriage, child labor, religious factors, etc. Now let's see one more example. Now this is about science and technology. At the beginning of my speech, I wish to welcome all the teachers and students to this meeting. Today, I would like to talk about an important topic which can change our life and our world indeed. I am going to speak about science and technology, which brings us a lot of comforts and services. Science really changes our way of living. It omits our superstitions and totally helps us to live a better life. It gives us a lot of information about where we live, our nature and our body. In addition, the technology is derived from the science completely changes our lifestyle. My friends, you cannot imagine your life without different tools which science and technology bring to us. I suggest asking your teachers, parents, or grandparents to tell you about their experiences from the past when technology hadn't spread out so much. I just want you to close your eyes and imagine that there is no electricity anywhere. How would you live in this dark world? It is really scary when I imagine this world in my mind. Just look at your cell phones. You can communicate with anybody you want regardless of how far away he or she is, or the fabulous technology, the internet. It is unbelievable to access to a wide range of information without any limitations whenever you want. You can watch your favorite movies, listen to lovely music online by means of your cell phones and internet. You can share your ideas with other people all around the world. Also, get to know others' opinions. Actually, the limitless world drives me crazy. One of the other services which technology brings to us is cars. Nowadays, we can drive a car and traverse long distances in a short time. That was impossible for our grandparents. Car technology is ongoing and progressive. There are a lot of companies and institutes studying new technologies about how to make cars driving safer and more comfortable. You can compare the first generation of cars with brand new ones today. You can observe their changes and access its progression during this time. In addition to cars, consider airplanes. They were just a dream until Wright brothers materialized this dream. Now we can travel long distances by means of airplanes in moments. Indeed, in terms of hygiene, science and technology help us so much. Modern technologies have significant effects on our lives. They improve standards of living. They help us survive from disaster, disease by means of new methods and modern surgeries. To be honest, we really owe our health to modern medicine and hygiene science. Based on international reports, the number of babies who died during childbirth have significantly decreased. This is because of modern science and technology. I want my friends present here to ask your teacher about medicine progression during earlier times to now. Thanks to new sophisticated surgical methods, most of the incurable disease can be cured now. At the end of my speech, I want to add something that is different from what I said above. It is about the disadvantages of new technologies. Although new technologies makes our life more comfortable and easier, they have bad effects on us too. In this modern world, we have incredible communication technologies, but we are alone. We love each other less than before. Sometimes I think we are going to be like machines. So I believe that we should use technologies but not let them make our hearts far removed from each other. Finally, I am so grateful for your patience and attention to my speech. Thank you all. So with that, we come to an end of this chapter. I hope you enjoyed today's session. We'll meet again in new class with a new chapter. Till then, bye-bye.